Hello and welcome to Still Buffering, a sister's guide to teens through the ages. I'm Riley Smurl.
And I'm Sydney McElroy. Well, Riley, I think people are getting really excited about listening to our show and talking about their teen years.
It's so exciting. I see all these CD binders, which I don't think is a thing, but I think we made it a thing.
I don't think, let me say, that was not a term that we used, certainly, when we actually used CD binders. We didn't say, like, hey, I like your CD binder.
So, like,
it's a nice looking CD binder.
Like, we made a thing. We've made a character now. A person exists because of our talking. Skittles Joe is now just a common household name all across the globe.
Exactly. We incepted him.
We made him. We created him. Yeah, all sorts of
course,
craziness.
And a lot of what we're referencing, if you're not a part of our Facebook group, you should be.
Yeah.
Please ask to join.
We'll let you in.
Because we will let you in.
As long as you're not a robot.
As long as you're not a robot. It's not exclusive. This isn't like some sort of weird, like, high school, like, cool test. Like, only cool people get in. You got to know all the No, I mean, everybody, we're in. So, like, everybody gets in.
Obviously.
But a lot of cool activity. I love to see people, like, kind of reminiscing about their high school days and then, like, asking Riley, like, what the heck is going on with high schoolers now.
Which I don't even know what's going on with high schoolers now, but I try to sound like I know what I'm talking about.
You have to pretend like you do. You're our expert. That's like our whole thing.
I'm sorry. I know exactly what I'm talking about.
But yeah, a lot of fun activity. People seem to be pretty excited talking about teen stuff.
It's crazy. So many teen things on one page. Can't handle it. People, like, did a drawing and, like, people, like, made a quote of a thing I said that I even forgot I said. I didn't even know I said it, and I apparently did.
That's what comes from being a teen spurt. Teen spurt.
Resident teen spurt, Riley Smurl.
So,
Sydney, now that all these people are sharing these memories from their teen years, not their Facebook years, their teen years with each other on our Facebook page, it had me thinking, like, when I am your age or when I am out of high school and college, how should I preserve all of my high school memories that I'm currently making?
Well, now are people indicating to you that you should preserve those memories? Because one of my first impulse to that in the response to that question is don't. No, that's not true. There of course are always good memories, but there are a lot of things that I just didn't preserve from high school, and I'm fine with that. Like, memories I would happily let die in the corners of my mind if I could.
Yeah. I mean, people are telling me, like, it's like the best 4 years of your life, which, I mean, it's not.
Are people still selling that
I'm
line?
halfway through it, and it's definitely not, but
people have been saying that.
Yeah.
I don't know how long. That would be a great thing if people want to let us know. How long have people been telling kids in high school that these are the best years of their life?
It seems like since the dawn of time, like since before people even were in high school.
And it's always been a lie, I think.
I mean,
for most of us, I mean, maybe there are some people who would say that high school was the best years of their life, but I think for most of us, it's not true. Like, I've given birth and like made life. That's better.
That's better than high school.
That's better than high school. I mean, that's just one example. But, like, if you've done that, how are you like, but, you know, you remember that one time when we cut 8th period and we went to McDonald's and it was just so crazy.
Crazy times.
Like, how are you like, that was better?
No. I mean, I've now about finished 2 years of high school, and they are definitely not anything special. I mean, they're not the worst. They're not middle school, but they're not the best.
That's fair. And I guess it's fair to say that there might be some things that you want to preserve memory-wise, some things that you want to, to hold with you and maybe show your kids someday.
Yeah, I mean, like, I have friends now, so, like, all these times I hang out with my friends and, like, all the times I go places with them, like, school events, just want to, like, you know, remember them. Not, like, make them, like, a part of my daily, like, remember that dance, remember that football game we all went to, like, you know, just like the special things.
No, and I will tell you, it's good that you don't want it to be like a major part of your adult life, because I don't hang out with very many people that I went to high school with now. In fact, none on a daily basis.
Zero.
I rarely see that. Not that I'm like avoiding them. It's just I don't see them.
Yeah.
But it would be very weird for me to look at my friends now and be like, do you remember that time when I went to a football game at my high school? And you weren't there, of course. You lived in another state, but
it happened.
But it happened.
Do you want to hear about it?
Let me tell you about it. I'm sure that's what you want to hear about now. But to be fair, there were some good times, and I think the most obvious thing would be like a yearbook. I mean, that's still a thing, right? You have a yearbook.
Yeah, it used to be like a yearly thing. Like, why didn't you get a yearbook? Like, everyone gets a yearbook, but now it's like they cost like $85 a piece, and I'm just like, gonna get one my senior year, I guess. Not gonna get one now. I'm not even gonna be in it.
Now, I will say that actually is not too terribly different from when I was in high school. Our yearbooks were, I think, maybe $50 or so at the time. I think a little cheaper than what you're saying, but still really expensive. Huge, giant, hard bound.
Yeah, like at
books.
least like 1.5 inches thick. Like really big.
They're not just, you get this impression. I always thought like yearbooks were just going to be like, here's a picture of everybody who went to school, but it's like, here's a picture of everybody, and then here's a picture of all the teams, and then here's a picture of all the clubs and all the choirs and the band and all
and
the different
there's like
extracurriculars.
10 pages for homecoming and like 10 pages for like cutest couple and all the superlatives and all sorts of stuff.
And then all these candid pages. And then there's ads.
Yeah.
There's all these ads.
All like the 12th grade ads. Yeah. I don't know. I've never had an actual high school yearbook, but I've seen them.
I just did the senior year one because it is so big. It is nice. I mean, they index you. You can just look for your name and see
index you.
Yeah, like what pages you're on.
Oh, I
so
don't
you don't
know
have
if they
to
do that. I don't know. I wouldn't know. But
well, they did that. So I mean, because you probably know like what clubs you were in, maybe.
I mean, I'm in so many clubs. I can't even keep track of what clubs I'm in.
Hey, that can be important for college. Get in those clubs, okay?
I'm in like a club. Actually, I take that back. I'm not in any clubs.
No, but I mean, you can be in like Honor Society and the Beta Club and Mu Alpha Theta.
I'm in the Beta Club.
Are you in the math honorary?
I'm too young.
Oh,
well, I need to finish this year so I can get my 5th credit, and then I'm good.
I was in like the Young Democrats Club.
Do we have like 2 members of our Young Democrats Club? Our Young Republicans Club is a really big thing. The Young Democrats Club, there was like a spinoff club, like the Young Liberals, which was like to the left of the Democrats. Like the most democratic Democrats that Huntington High School has ever seen.
It was I wasn't part of that because I was already part of the Young Democrats. I just felt like, well, I'm already part of their club. I don't want to leave it. I don't want to be impolite.
I don't want to be too much of a Democrat for these Democrats. That would be rude of me. I just
don't want to be rude. And then like all the sports teams and stuff, but I mean we had yearbooks. Signing each other's yearbook wasn't quite, I feel like, as big a deal in high school as it was in middle school.
Yeah,
that was such a huge thing in middle school. When you would you do that? Would you go around and have everybody sign and try to come up with something super clever to write in somebody else's yearbook?
It wasn't even for me middle school, because like my first full year of middle school, I hated it. I was going to say I didn't really like it. Like I just hated it. And then my half of my second year, I went there to that same school. And then the last year and a half, I went to a different school. But like I felt weird by the time I was in 8th grade, like I got a yearbook, but like I didn't know anyone at that school because I had been there for like a year. So it's like these people, like had all these memories with these people that I was like elementary school with. I was like, I know like 2 people here. But like, I guess I did that in elementary school. Like I remember the teachers gave us, the teachers gave us like an hour, like the next to last day of school. And we're like, here's your yearbooks. Go have everyone in the whole school sign them. Like I have my yearbooks from like 3rd grade where people sign them and I don't even know who they are.
Well, that was definitely a thing in middle, and probably people were doing it in high school too, where you would go around whenever you could in between classes and try to get everybody all your friends and then like people that you had crushes on and stuff to sign your yearbook. And then you would analyze stuff like the way they worded things like super hard. Like, what did they mean by that?
But is that
a secret message that maybe they like me back?
Did you like get your yearbooks before the end of the school year?
Yeah.
See, now you have to come and pick them up the beginning of the next school year.
Oh, well, see, that wouldn't be helpful. No, we got ours before the end so that you could go around and people would put things like, I don't know if this is still a thing, I was the first to sign your crack.
Yep.
Yeah, still a thing.
Yep.
Doesn't go away.
No, because I remember like my first grade year, we went to the beach the week that everyone was signing yearbooks. So the only people I had sign my first grade yearbook, which I think about is really sad, were like you and Sid, or you and Taylor and Justin and Mom and Dad.
We did sign your yearbook.
And Dad was the first person to sign it, and he said I was the first one to sign your crack. And then I remember Taylor opening it and going, "Oh darn, someone already did that."
I can't believe you had us sign your yearbook. That is the saddest thing to say. Like, at one point, the only people who signed my yearbook were my parents and my sisters and my sister's boyfriend.
Like, no one else ever signed that yearbook. I still have it. No one else ever signed it. It just has like 5 signatures.
That's so sad.
I think I had like Dad's dad sign his name in it. Like, I don't think he wrote. I think I had Grandpa Dan. I think I had Grandpa Dan sign his name. I think I took it to the beach with me so that our aunt and uncle who live at the beach would have signed it.
That is so pitiful.
I'd forgotten about that. Now I'm crying because I remember it.
That was really funny. So I was the first to sign your crack. That was a big one. There were lots of abbreviations. LYLAS.
LY what?
Love you like a sister.
That is not a no.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
That was so was
like
one.
Text to language except in yearbooks.
Yeah, you would put that, and then of course a lot of like the BFFEs and
BFFE.
Best friends forever.
Forever is one word.
And ever. That's just it was yearbooks.
BFFs.
Or what else? I don't know. There were all kinds of things like that you would try to like there would be some that were very cryptic because it was just like random collections of letters.
Yeah.
And then you were too cool.
Mine was just mostly teachers signing mine, so I didn't have a lot of like, you are too cool, love you like a sister. Mine was just mostly like teachers like, you're the smartest one out of all your friends. Have a good summer.
What you wanted were the really personal ones that were like inside jokes. That's what you hoped for. Yeah. Instead of like have a cool summer was like something that you could go, ah ha ha, only we get that joke because I have a friend and that friend and I have a joke
a friend.
that's so secret that nobody else would be able to decode this yearbook message. But yearbooks were definitely, I think it's a cool thing to have now. Like, I look back at some of them now and just laugh about like the stuff that I thought was important and people signing it and who signed it and like, oh my gosh, I remember that kid. I haven't thought about him forever. Aside from yearbooks, I think like school dance photos, that's something I have that I kept.
Did you all have like a person at the school or wherever the dance was having like taking pictures of you?
Oh yeah.
I don't think we have. I mean, I've never been to prom because I'm not old enough to go to prom yet. Mm-hmm. But the 2 homecomings I've been to, we don't have someone. Really? I don't think we have anyone taking pictures.
That is crazy. Okay, so and I've mentioned before that I had middle school dances.
Yeah.
Middle school dances, you get your picture taken at.
Okay.
So there would be like a place, like a photographer.
There's
actually, not all of them,
just
special, like the Christmas one and the Valentine's one and like the
Halloween
one, like the special dances. Uh-huh. There would be like a booth with a photographer, and you could have your picture taken and pay for it. Like it was like a cheap one. That one wasn't like a fancy one. It was like a $5 photo or something. And then at the high school level, of course, at homecoming and prom, there would be like a place where you would go and stand in line, like just like school picture day.
Yeah.
You would go and you would stand in line and you would get your photo taken, and then you'd go pick them up after the dance. Like you'd go pay at the place.
I don't think we have anyone doing that. Like I remember there was one time I remember in 5th grade in elementary school having someone take my picture. We went to like one of the churches nearby and had a dance in 5th grade, and someone took our picture in front of like a fake beach background with all my friends. They had like those big coconut drinks and like flower lace around our neck. But like middle school, I went to like a dance, and I mean high school I've been to 2 dances, and we haven't had anyone taking pictures.
And there was nobody taking pictures. I mean, because there's always like I think there's always the parents trying to take pictures before you go thing.
Now, actually,
like where you stand awkwardly in the living room, or like, remember Mom and Dad would always make us stand out front of that same tree?
The same tree in the yard. I remember that because I was never living at that house old enough to be there for a high school dance. But I remember watching you all take pictures in front of it. I remember like taking like Easter pictures, Christmas pictures when it was like snowing outside.
Oh yeah, it was the tree. It was the picture tree, and it was definitely the dance tree. And like you'd stand there with your date forever while your mom took pictures. I think like everybody went through that, but Then there would be the like gauntlet of picture takers as we would walk into homecoming or prom, like all of the moms standing there with cameras taking pictures of people as they walked in. And then there were the pictures that you got in the dance. And then at least at our school, we would have people from the photo studio, like the people who did the photos for the dance, would be taking candids throughout the whole dance. And that was always a big deal afterwards, was they would say like, now on this day, come by the studio because we'll have all the candids up all over the walls. They basically like coat the walls. Like you would you would have to physically go in there and look all over the walls to see if you were in any of the candids because you didn't know.
Could you just take the ones you were in?
Yeah, you could. Well, you had to buy them, but you would go and your mom actually, because it was during school hours, so like your mom or dad would have to go
try to find
all the ones
like
with
a
you
Where's
in
Waldo.
It. Oh, it was and it was so competitive. It was crazy competitive because like all the people who were like really into dances, you know, there are some people who are like.
I have
really
friends that are like already planning next year's homecoming, which is in like 10 months.
So those people who are like probably really into high school in general, super into dances, their parents would be there like crack of dawn, first one at the door, ready to bust in as soon as it was open so that they could grab all the candids with their kids in them, with their kids, because they know all their kids' friends, so all their kids' friends in them, like all the pictures. So I usually didn't get any candids is what I'm trying to say. If I was in, which I probably wouldn't have been in, because nobody's like taking a picture of the awkward girl who's standing with her awkward friends in like the corner.
Like drinking punch.
Yeah.
Like, look at this dance. Isn't it so lame, guys?
Who took her shoes off like 5 minutes in. And
was that not a thing?
Taking your shoes off?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most people would end up taking their shoes off.
Well, that's about dances. That's like a whole other thing. But, I mean, did you all not set aside a time, like, before you went to the actual dance to go, like, to, like, the park or something and take pictures?
I didn't, but yes, that was the thing then, too. I mean, plenty of my friends did. I just didn't, I don't know. I just didn't care. Like, I guess I knew I wanted, like, a picture of me and my date, because my date was always either my boyfriend at the time, or a couple times it was a really good friend. So it was somebody that I liked and cared about. Right. And so keeping that memory was nice and it was important to me.
Yeah.
But I just wanted the one picture. That was it. Like I don't have like a bunch of dance pictures of me and my friends.
See, we have like homecoming starts at like 7 or 7:30 in the evening, but it's become a thing where you're supposed to be ready the day of homecoming by like 3:00. Because you go to the park at like 3:30 and take pictures with literally everyone there. Like I have homecoming pictures from freshman year, which I didn't have time to go to the park sophomore year to take pictures because of a family wedding. It was the same day. But I have
took
pictures.
Your picture then.
Yeah, you took like I have like 2 homecoming pictures from this year. Like one of them's of like me and dad, and one of them's just me by myself.
They're great.
I
took them in your bedroom.
In my bedroom. There's a box of Cheez-Its behind me. Actually, if you look close enough. And I'm not wearing my shoes, but yeah, I have pictures from my first year with people I don't even know. Like I'm looking at them now, and it's been a year, and I don't know these people.
You also have pictures with my baby.
Yeah, I have pictures of Charlie.
That's my favorite. Is that there are all these pictures there are all these homecoming pictures of Riley and her friends, because we were at the park there too with Charlie, and she was, oh gosh,
she was a month old.
A little bit. No, I wouldn't have brought her out yet. She was just over though. She was like 2 months old.
Yeah,
like right past where I felt safe bringing her out anywhere.
Yeah.
Because I didn't let anybody touch her. Nobody touched her. They're just looking at her.
I remember that because there's so many pictures of my friends and I was actually touching her. Yeah. But like all my friends is like leaning over her crib. Like I have like 30 homecoming pictures of all of my friends, not even with me, just like looking at Charlie. Because Justin took most of my homecoming pictures. So Justin just took a bunch of pictures of my friends that you all don't even know looking at Charlie.
There are lots of pictures of a bunch of teenagers looking at a baby.
Yeah. I don't think I'm in half of them.
Homecoming photos. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that was, I mean, there were, yes, people went to the park and did that. That just wasn't like me and my group of friends. That wasn't something we did. We did the thing that was established. You get your picture taken at homecoming with your date in like the classic pose, the hands over the head so you can show off the corsage or whatever. Right. And that was pretty much it. And, I don't have any other pictures from those. I mean, past that, like if we go into like in general high school memories, just pictures of me from then, we didn't, our phones didn't take pictures back then.
What?
I know.
I'm just kidding.
Crazy. So our phone, so what would we have taken pictures with? I certainly didn't have a nice camera. I think there were probably kids who were into photography and stuff.
Right.
But my parents weren't about to let me use their camera. So if we went on a trip or something, I had a little
like disposable. A field trip?
Yeah. Like, I mean, to like I have pictures from like my show choir trips that were like, you know, you would go to Disney World and wear like a fanny pack where you had
you
like
guys
a wad
got to
of
go to
cash.
Disney World?
Mm-hmm.
What?
And Universal Studios. Yeah.
We don't go anywhere cool.
Yeah.
We went to like, for a speech and debate tournament, we went to like North Carolina.
Nothing wrong with North Carolina.
I mean, no, nothing wrong with North Carolina, but it's not like an attraction. Like, it's just like a state. Like, we went to Kentucky. Like, that's where we go.
Well, see, we'd go, and you know, I would always have like I said, like your fanny pack with like your wad of cash that your parents gave you, and like your sunglasses, your sunscreen, and your disposable camera. That's what I would take with me, and like try to remember to use it all up, and then at some point get it developed.
Did you
way
actually
in the future.
get them developed?
Most of them, yeah, because those are the only pictures, and you know, the only time that I remember taking a lot of pictures in high school of myself or my friends were on special occasions. So like, we didn't have cameras at like slumber parties and stuff. Certainly mom and dad took pictures of like family things. Like there are pictures of me with the family. And then of course we're talking about the time period where like video cameras were the thing.
Like home videos?
Home videos.
Because
so like dad recorded everything.
You're in all the home videos like my age, but there's no home videos of me. Of course, of me at my age. Like, that's just not a thing that we
It was just, there was this moment, you know that show America's Funniest Home Videos?
Yeah.
Okay, there was like this moment after VHS, those are those big giant, you know, VHS tapes. VHS okay, well, they came.
That's all my VeggieTales were on.
Yes, your VeggieTales were on VHS. There was a moment where people had these big VHS cameras and they just recorded everything that was happening all the time. And that was when Taylor and I were really growing up. So there's all those home videos. But like my teenage years, it is like dance, vacation photos, and then like the yearbook photos and like my soccer photo or whatever. Like, that's it. See, I don't have much else that exists of me from that time period.
See, like now whenever I have like
show pictures,
right? But like whenever I have like sleepovers or like friends over, like going to like a party, which I mean I've been to one obviously, but like we take pictures all the time. Like there's this feature on the app Snapchat where you can take a story, which is where you can like take a video or a picture and all your friends on Snapchat can see it for 24 hours. And there are times where I'm just at a sleepover and it's like I'm taking stories of everything. Like,
okay, wait, back it up. So a story is a single photo?
Well, okay. So like the maximum length of like a video on Snapchat, you can take pictures and put them on your story. But like a video, I think is 10 seconds. So like you can take several videos and then put them on your story in succession. So it's like you take a video, let's say at like 1 in the afternoon, then it goes away the next day at 1 in the afternoon. But you can also take one after it at like 1:30, but it'll still be on there just half an hour longer. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I can take one right now and it would be on there until this time tomorrow, and I can take one in an hour and put it on there. But in between the period of the first one disappearing and the last one disappearing, people can watch all of the pictures and story and videos I've taken in the past 24 hours. So it's like I'll document basically a whole sleepover and like right before all of them are about to disappear, you can save your whole story to your camera roll. So it's just like you go to play it on your camera roll. It looks like a video, even if it's just a bunch of pictures, and it's just all these pictures from this one night. So it's basically like a mini slideshow of like a sleepover.
Well, okay. A couple questions I have.
Yeah.
Okay, one, I thought the whole thing was Snapchat, and like I don't have Snapchat. I'm only sort of familiar with it. But I thought the whole thing with Snapchat was that you take a picture of yourself or whatever and it's gone. Like you send it to somebody and it vanishes.
That's like the main feature of it. Like I don't think I had Snapchat. There was a time of Snapchat, I am like 90% positive, before stories were a thing.
Right.
Which was where you could just take pictures and send to people and they disappeared. But I haven't had Snapchat where stories haven't been a thing. The only time I use a story is when something is going on that I want everyone to know about, but it's not important enough of a picture to put on Instagram, and it's too long of a video to put on Twitter, or not enough of words to put on Twitter. This is like a whole, like, it's like an equation. Like, this event is not important enough of a picture to put on Instagram.
Okay.
It's not important enough of, like, a story to type for Twitter, and this video is too long to put on Twitter, so I need to put it on my Snapchat story.
Okay, wait. Back up. So it's not important enough to put on Instagram.
Right, which is where
help me with that statement, because this is what I'm failing to understand. When I took pictures of things happening, and I mean, again, like, the only photos I wanted of myself were like, I got all dressed up and I'm going to a dance, and so I want to remember, like, I looked nice in that dress with my hair like that, whatever. There weren't a lot of, like, pictures that I wanted of myself to exist day to day, because I wasn't in control of them. Someone else was taking them. You know, I wasn't taking them of myself, because I wasn't taking selfies. Right. Selfies were not part of my youth.
It wasn't a thing.
No, I understand they exist now, but but that was not something we did. So, like, what is the goal? Like, when you talk about, like, you want people to see, do you want just your friends to see? Is it just
Snapchat
to, like,
or Instagram?
On Snapchat, or either, like, do one or then the other. Tell me about one, then tell me about the other.
Okay, so my main goal of Snapchat and putting a story on there is people, because I mean, you can only see it within 24 hours, so it's something that someone is either doing, like, right at this minute or has been doing within the past 24 hours. So, like, if I'm having a party with all my friends, I want all my, like, people who, like, don't like me that much or, like, don't think I'm cool or whatever to, like, see, like, hey, I'm at a party right now that you're not at and you're not invited to. So basically what I use Snapchat stories for is everyone seeing how great of a time I'm having, like, currently.
To because, make, like, everybody jealous.
Yeah, Instagram pictures you could have taken, like, a week ago and you could be posting them right now and no one would know. Or, like, Twitter, you can, I don't know, Twitter is just not really as much of a thing because you can put videos and you can put videos and pictures on there, but I don't really do that often, just, like, every once in a while. But, like,
see, Twitter's, like, my thing.
Right. It's like the only thing you know how to do. You only half know how to do it. I mean, do you know how to Facebook? You know how to Facebook, but, like, I don't even Facebook anymore.
I know how to Facebook and Twitter. I don't know anything. I have an Instagram, and I think I've posted,
you posted like twice.
Yeah,
or
pretty
3
much.
times, maybe.
Like, maybe 3 times ever, because I always have things to say, and it seems like on Instagram you're not supposed to say things, you just take a picture.
It's not as much of saying things. That's, yeah. The difference mainly is Snapchat is people seeing right now what I'm doing. Like, I want people to see right at this minute, I am with these people, and this is what I'm doing. Be jealous of me.
So it, like, improves your social, like, cachet.
Yeah.
Like, it makes you more impressive socially, because then everybody can because everybody's on their phones all the time. Right. So everybody can instantly know.
And you can see who views it. It gives you a list, like, an update. Like, that's, like, there's no reason to check and watch your story again, really. Like, you've posted it, you know what it is. But I always find myself going back and watching mine, like, 50 times every hour, because you can update it and it gives you a list of everyone who has watched it. So,
and then you know
who has seen it. And then it kind of gets weird sometimes, because, like, if I have a party with some of my friends and my other friends weren't invited, like, it's one of those things, like, I can only have this many people, I couldn't invite any more people. It's like, oh man, Sue saw this video and she wasn't invited. Oh no.
Are you having to deal with that in the moment? Because, like, I mean, I guess there were certainly times where Monday at school I would be talking about something I did over the weekend with some of my friends, and then other of my friends would hear about it. And, like, so I understand what you're saying, that there would be those moments where it'd be like, it's not that we didn't like you, we just didn't, I don't know, awkward. This just happened. Yeah, I'm sorry, whatever. But it's after the fact. Mm-hmm. And so it's over. And so nobody's sitting there thinking, like, reliving that moment that, at that time I was alone and you were having fun. Like, most people get over it pretty quickly. Is this worse? Because
it is.
If somebody knows in the moment, like right now, across town, Riley's having fun with her friends that are also my friends and I'm not invited.
Yeah.
Do people start, like, responding to that instantly? And, like, do you start getting texts and stuff from people who are, like, angry, going, invite me? Why am I not there?
The only time it's happened to me not being there is when I was sick one time. Like, I was, like, in bed, could not move, and one of my friends had her birthday party, and they were all posting, like, sending me Snapchats privately, not even on their story, of them, like, at this party, and, like, on their story, like, all of their stories, like, everything that was going on, like, I was sitting around outside or whatever, having a great time, and I was so sad, because I was like, you know, I was invited, I could be there, like, right at this minute, they were all at her birthday party having such a great time, and I can't be there. But I mean,
sorry.
I didn't, like, text them, make them feel bad, because I was invited and I was planning on going and I couldn't, like, get out of bed. But I mean, the only time it's happened to me on the other end was when, like, I had a party and I could only invite like a certain amount of people to be there. And I remember we're in this group text I've mentioned before, like 14 other people. And I remember we were all going out to see a movie together, and we all posted on our stories pictures of each other. It wasn't too long ago. It was like 2 weeks ago. We were all posting pictures of each other on our Snapchat stories, and we knew everyone else that was not there was busy that night with like either like a sport or like an activity, and we knew they couldn't come. So it was like, why make them feel bad about not being there and tell them like, hey, we're going to do this. So we just didn't say anything about it in front of them. But then they saw our stories, and that night in the group text, it was like very awkward. Like they didn't like,
but they didn't say it at the moment.
No, they didn't say anything about it, but like the following day, because it was on a Friday night, so it was like the following Saturday when we usually wouldn't have seen each other. It was like within the group text, it was kind of like the people who were there, including myself, were like talking to each other, but no one who wasn't there wasn't. They weren't saying anything.
Okay. So.
And like they would say that we were being mean or whatever for having this and not inviting them, but like they wouldn't be forward with it. They would kind of be sneaky with it, and like they never got upset about it, but you could tell they weren't happy.
This is the equivalent, I think, of Monday morning at school. It's just since you guys now have these endless, never-ending group texts.
Right.
The never-ending story of your group text.
Exactly.
Since that now exists, you get the awkwardness a little sooner.
Yeah. And I guess it's kind of better in some ways, because like if it happens again like on a Friday night, and like the whole awkwardness thing happens on a Saturday, you're not with them. So by the time you get to school on Monday, or like the next time you see them, it's not awkward. It's like over. It's not a thing that you're talking about anymore.
Everything moves so quickly.
Yeah. I mean, like this was like a Friday night. It happened. We didn't talk about it. The Saturday morning, I don't wake up until like 1 o'clock on the weekends. So I woke up like when all my friends did at like 1 o'clock.
Must be nice.
It all happened like within an hour. And then like by 5 o'clock that evening, we were all talking about, I don't know, like the
Pretty
homework
Little Liars.
Assignment, not Pretty Little Liars, but like we were all talking about like the chemistry test we'd all forgotten we had, and we hadn't memorized any of our monatomic ions. Well, I don't know.
Well, let me ask you then, because this is my other question, part of this, and not to belabor this too much longer, but Instagram then. So you said that something wouldn't be important enough for Instagram. Right. What does that mean? What is considered important enough for Instagram?
I have the majority, not including Twitter, because I don't include posting like photo sharing sites. I don't include Twitter as one of them. But I have my most followers and most people watching on Instagram. Okay. So I want to put on Instagram what I want the most people to see. And you can tell when people like something on Instagram, obviously, by the like button.
Right. I always like yours because I know that you watch that.
Count the likes.
I know you count that.
And also, that actually really factors into what I keep on my Instagram. Because even if like I like a picture, or like I post something for someone's birthday, which I do that a lot, like on my best friends, I like make a little slideshow of all our pictures together, like put a collage together or whatever, my phone of pictures of them. But usually those don't get more than like 30 or 40 likes. And if something, even if it's not one of those like a selfie or like a picture of some of my friends that doesn't get like 50 or 60 at the least, I'll delete it within like 3 hours.
Why?
It's just like, I don't want to say it's embarrassing, but it kind of is.
But
like,
if you like it, who cares?
Like if I'm scrolling through my profile and it's just like, oh, this one got like 90 likes, which actually my most like pictures of me and Charlie has like 92 likes, but like all my other ones have like 80, 79 is probably like my average. But then like there's this one picture that's like 52 likes, 45 likes. Like, I don't know, it just makes me feel weird.
Okay, are there other rules for Instagram other than this? That's bizarre to me, the idea of going back and deleting something just because other people don't like it. But Are there other things that people?
These aren't like they're unspoken rules,
right? Right, they're mores,
right?
Like the unwritten kind of things we do in society that we don't say we do, but we all do,
right? Usually don't post more than once in a day. And if you do, you kind of start out your caption of your second picture of the day with, I know this is my second post of today, but...
I've seen that. Why does it matter? Why does anybody care?
I don't even know why it matters. Like, I'm guilty of it. I've posted twice in a day, probably like 5 times in my whole life. And like whenever I post a second time, I'm just like, I know this is my second post for today, but, or like, sorry for posting twice, but.
Who cares though? Sometimes I'll tweet multiple times. I mean, other days I don't tweet at all.
Tweeting
but like,
is different. Like I tweet like 5 times a day.
So it's okay to tweet multiple times. Yeah. Facebook isn't a thing, so we don't count that.
Right.
Snapchat is constant.
Snapchat, it's like encouraged to story at least once a day. Like I feel awkward if I don't have a story because like they go away after 24 hours. So like if I look and it's like 4:30 and my story is going to disappear at 4:45, I'm like, I need to find something that people want to see that I'm doing right now so I can post it on my story so that I have a story.
You always have to have a story.
You don't always have to, but like I like to. I feel awkward if I don't.
But on Instagram you only post once a day.
I don't try to post more than twice a week.
Okay.
I mean, I guess that's not as much of a rule, but.
And there are noted days that I have been made aware of through.
Do you want me to walk you through the week?
Yeah. What is the week? What's your Instagram
Sunday
week?
Is your selfie Sunday.
Okay.
Monday, man crush Monday. If you have a boyfriend or like a celebrity is your man crush. Your man
or
crush
just
Monday.
and I've noticed that's used like across genders or whatever.
Really?
You
like,
can just it's just like this is a guy that I really like.
Or like even if I have a friend that's a girl, like man crush Monday is my friend, you know, whoever.
Okay, so it doesn't even matter like gender man. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's just like the name of the day.
Okay.
Tuesday, Transformation Tuesday is probably your most common one, which is where like not too long ago my time hop was a picture of me and my friend Hannah in the front of our high school, but we were in 4th grade in this high school for a jump rope team competition. Mm-hmm. And now it's our high school that we attend now, and it was 6 years ago today, like last week. So we took a picture together like in that front hallway in the same position. I didn't post it, but like I have it, like a Transformation Tuesday.
I gotcha.
Like a 6-year difference.
Okay.
Wednesday would be Woman Crush Wednesday, to be the female equivalent of Man Crush Monday, except really not gender based at all, just like the name of the day.
So it's just a crush on a person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thursday would be Throwback Thursday, which is basically again Transformation Tuesday, except it doesn't have to be like a transformation. Just like
an old picture. Remember
this time I went to the beach like 2 years ago? Here's a picture from when I went to the beach 2 years ago.
Okay.
Friday, I don't know if there's one for Friday. Now that I say that, Friday and Saturday, actually, there's probably someone listening to this right now. It's like, oh, I know what Friday is. It's but like Friday and Saturday, I really don't know what they are.
They can't be that important if you haven't osmosed culturally what they are.
I really don't know. I mean,
I have no idea.
The other ones are like, I know them. Like
Twitter is Follow Friday.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, you make suggestions to other people about what they should follow on Follow Friday. Like,
right.
Follow Friday and then all these things.
Yeah. But yeah, like those are rules. I usually don't post a lot of those. Like sometimes I'll post like a Throwback Thursday or a Transformation Tuesday with some of my friends. If you're gonna post a picture of someone else, you have to ask their permission first.
Okay.
And even if it's a picture like of you and a bunch of your friends and you really like it of yourself, but one of your friends is like, I hate that picture of me, you can't post it. Because then you're like an awful person, which I get.
Yeah,
like,
that's
you don't
fair.
want a lot of people seeing a bad picture of you.
I have that. We have that rule among us. Yeah. Like you, me, and Mom and Taylor.
Don't post without permission.
Exactly.
PYOP. Yeah. I guess the other rules would be you have to like your friends' pictures. Like if I post a picture or like one of my friends posts a picture and I don't like it, they'll ask me like, why didn't you like my picture?
Wow. Okay.
We have this system actually with my group text, since there's on Instagram, it lists people's names that like your picture until you get to 11 likes, and then it just says the number of likes you have. And since there are so many of us in our group text, if all of us like one of our pictures at that time, we don't have to have that awkward like list of names. It just automatically goes to like 11 likes. So whenever we post a picture in our group text, we just text in the group text and all we say is go. And they know when saying go, that means go like my Instagram picture.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not kidding. If I picked up my phone right now and text them and said go, they would go look on my Instagram to see if I had posted a picture.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
It's that important.
Yeah. Like, you text them.
Well, because you're going to take it down if you don't get enough likes.
Right.
So it's really important.
Like, really, this is going to sound awful of me. I'm going to sound like an awful person. But within, like, 30 minutes, if I don't have 30 likes, I take down the picture.
But, okay. Which I don't know that I understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I fully can grasp it. Exactly. But I'm also assuming it's not just you. This isn't just a Riley thing.
This is everyone.
This is everybody you know. So
like,
as far as you know,
friends.
you can apply this generally
right
to at least some subset of teen culture that a lot of other teenagers are doing the same thing. They're counting their likes. They're looking closely. Friends who don't like their things are alienated at the moment.
Right.
Like, at least you got to assume there's some beef there.
Yeah. And then, like, commenting is a thing. So it kind of becomes a thing. Like, if I post a selfie and I've taken it and one of my friends comments, like, heart eyes emoji or, like, you know, your...
That heart eye emoji seems very popular.
It is very popular.
I see that one all the time.
But then it becomes a thing. Like, it's not a thing you have to comment. Like, I have pictures where there are no comments at all. But then it becomes a thing if you comment and all your other friends don't comment, they look like awful people.
So then everybody has to comment?
So then everyone has to comment.
Do you have to reply to all the comments? Because I notice you reply a lot.
I usually do a mass replying. Like, it's just all my friends from my group text that all comment, like, the same genre of comment at the same time. Like, the same,
something
like,
that says you look good, basically.
Right. Something like that. I'll just say, like, thank you all, I love you at the same time. But, like, then if it's, like, people go back, like, 2 days later and they're just seeing that picture and they're just liking it and they comment, then I'll reply to them individually. But mostly I just do, like, mass replyings. Okay, first of all, this has been fascinating. Mm-hmm. This description. I didn't know what stories were. I still only sort of understand Snapchat. Uh-huh. I understand Instagram. I guess I just don't know why we use it still. I don't know why we use it. And I use it on a daily basis.
I certainly am not going to. But I would say this, in terms of capturing the memories of high school, mm-hmm. I think that today teenagers seem to be capturing the memories of every moment of their existence.
We are.
A lot more than we did, because I mean, I remember the highlights. I remember the big stuff. Mm-hmm. And I had a diary to write down the little stuff. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't sharing any of that little stuff with the world. Like, right. I wasn't sharing the day-to-day with my friends, other than like your closest person you might talk to about it on the phone and have a conversation with them mm-hmm. about it. But I wasn't putting pictures of it up. I think you're probably preserving the past a lot. Yeah. Well, unless you delete it.
Well, I actually tend to like save all of my pictures. Like, all my stories I have on my phone still. Like, I have like 726 pictures in my photo album right now, and I'd say about 600 of them are either pictures that I've taken with friends or like of friends.
I would say this would be advice I would give you about that then. If there is any advice this is a whole new world for me. I feel like mm-hmm. I'm giving advice about something that I'm only sort of understanding. Right now I could give you probably in one box all of the pictures I have of my teenage years. I mean, I'm sure Mom has a lot of other family photos, but like that I had, that I took, or my friends took, that I kept. It's a very limited number. So I could just hand you like the highlights, like, or if I want it, like, you probably don't want to look at these pictures, but someday, I don't know, Charlie might. Yeah. Someday I might want to flip through them again, and I could just look at them in a limited. There's an end to them.
Right.
It's a definite end. I would worry that with as many pictures as you have, it's just in like you could go on forever and ever and ever. Yeah. You're never going to want to look back through all those.
Yeah.
And so maybe you need to have like a separate file for like
an album on my phone.
Yeah. Or like, these are the ones that really counted. These are the ones that matter. The ones that I like the best. The ones that bring back like a really great memory mm-hmm. or a really bad, something that was important, something that shaped you. Yeah. Maybe you need some sort of subset that's that, so that, someday you're not overwhelmed. Like, I don't know, for someday a boyfriend or a kid or whatever, mm-hmm. if you want to show them this stuff, that you're not like, here are my 80,000 selfies that I took.
Here's 200 minutes worth of stories from various high school parties and sleepovers I went to. Watch them all. There's some cursing and some inappropriate behavior, but here you go.
But you're an adult now, so it should be fine. But here's my phone, and I've got the charger because you're gonna need it. Right. And just I'll be back in 2 weeks, so let me know.
I'll be back in a year when you're done.
And if you didn't like them all, we're breaking up.
If you don't like physically all of them, then we're done.
So I would say start thinking about that. How can I curate? How can I go through and separate out the things that I want to remember, that I'd want to hold on to? Because otherwise you're just going to have too much. And then you're not going to, then it's all going to just kind of fade together.
Right. Like all just one big high school blob.
Exactly.
Which is not what you want.
No. No,
Well,
you don't
I mean,
want that.
maybe you
Well,
do,
I
but-
mean, it's okay. Honestly, there's a lot of it you just want to kind of fade
Yeah.
into the back of your mind until you don't really remember it.
Right.
But there are good parts that you want to be able to draw out, and it could get lost in all the kind of the mush
Yeah.
there. So that would
Yeah.
be my advice.
Thank you, Sydney. That makes a lot of sense.
Well, thank you, Riley, for educating me
Now
about
you know about all the
Snapchat
wonders
and
of
Instagram,
the modern social medias.
all the rules. I'm still just gonna stick with Twitter and Facebook.
There are
I
still
think.
more rules. I didn't even go through all of them.
We're gonna have to do more rules someday.
Just a whole rules episode.
Okay. Well, Riley, I think we've learned enough for this week.
I think we have. It's a
We've
lot
gone a little long.
to take in.
Thank you all for listening to our show. Thank you guys for supporting us and for participating in the Facebook group.
Yes.
I love seeing everybody's memories,
makes my
talking
day.
about your AIM handles, talking about your CD binders
Yeah.
and your music. These are great memories, and I love seeing everybody share it. Please, if you have photos that you feel the need to share from your high school days, feel free. I think I need to dig up my Valentine's dance photo from 6th grade and throw that up there.
Please.
My sweater's great. And thank you guys for tweeting about our show at StillBuff. Thanks for joining the Facebook group. Please check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Also, email us
Still buffering
at
at
MaximumFun.
MaximumFun.org.
Yes.
All your questions, comments, concerns.
Yes, especially if it's something that you'd like us to. We're hopefully going to be able to start addressing some of those on the show.
Yes.
So
and
make
there are
sure.
a lot of good emails so far.
Yes.
That I want to talk about.
And make sure to note if you don't want us to talk about it on the show or you don't
Tell
want us
us.
to submit it, please do that so we don't.
Right.
So we don't.
Because if you don't, we will.
Yes. And thank you to the Novellas for Baby Change Your Mind, our theme song. And thank you to Maximum Fun for hosting our show.
Yes.
It's home to many, many other great shows. So go check out MaximumFun.org and listen to all those wonderful, wonderful programs.
Yes. This has been Still Buffering, a sister's guide to teens through the ages. I am Riley Smurl.
I'm Sydney McElroy.
I am a teenager.
And I was too.
Baby, you change your mind. Change your mind. Over and over again. 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 Over and over again.
Hello, Internet. I'm Travis McElroy.
And I'm Teresa McElroy.
She is my wife.
And he's my husband.
And it is our pleasure to introduce to you a brand new podcast
Schmanners. It's extraordinary etiquette.
for ordinary occasions. Teresa, let me ask you this. Can you teach me how to write a thank you note?
Yes, I can.
How about tips to improve my table manners?
I'll do my best.
And will you finally explain to me the difference between casual and business casual and cocktail and formal and black tie and all that stuff?
If anybody can, I can.
But like, it's going to be funny, right?
Of course, I'm going to give historical origins and how those manners fit into our everyday lives. How could it not be funny?
But also sometimes we'll talk about like burps and farts, right?
Yeah, when not to.
But we'll still talk about it.
Yes.
Great. So come join us for our new hilarious show.
No RSVP required.
Coming to you soon every Friday on MaximumFun.org. It's Schmanners.
Manners. Get it?
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture. Artist owned.
Listener supported.